Hello, hello. What is up, my beautiful beloved creators? How are you doing on this wonderful Monday morning? How was your weekend? How are you feeling? How's everything going? Get your favorite cup of tea or coffee or beverage. I do have my creme brulee creamer. So I have my mushroom coffee and my creme brulee, and it's delicious. I actually was at the bottom of the bottle and, kind of underestimated how much was left in there. So I just kind of went, darn, and I probably poured way too much in there, but it's actually really, really good. So it's okay. So this is my little self-stirring mug. So if you can hear that, I'll let some more for you. More, whatever those are. Stirring, I'm almost out of it. I probably should have refilled it. But anyway, so let's take a drink and settle in, because today we are talking about dealing with conflicting values, how to get into alignment with your goals faster. So settle in, get cozy, because this is where we come together to lift our vibrations, align with our highest and best selves, and create our ideal realities. Yay! Okay, so what is a conflicting value, you may ask? Well, if you've been following along with me, I always tell you, okay, so we want to focus on what we want and not what we don't want, right? And how do you know when you're focused on what you want rather than what you don't want? It's down in how you feel. You feel good when you're focused on what you want. You feel bad when you're focused on what you don't want. The example I usually give is money. We all say, I don't know about all of us, but when we say we want more money, hey, good morning, thanks for joining. When we're talking about when we want more money, when you say that, are you coming from a place of, I know money is abundant, I know there's more than enough to go around, I know that I am the creator of my world, I know that, the universe always have my back, thou shalt not want, I will have everything I need, my needs will always be met? Or are you thinking there's not enough, I can't afford this, it's too expensive? You can see the difference there, right? So that's a big conflicting value when we say we want more money, but we feel there's not enough of it. So you can feel the split in your energy. I want it, not enough. Or some people like money is evil, right? Or the root of all evil or whatever. So now you're like, well, I need money to pay my bills, but it's evil. So you feel the split there, right? So that's conflicting values. You know you need something, but then you think it's evil. But when it comes to creating our ideal realities, you could have other conflicting values in there saying, I want, to retire at an early age, but then you're like, well, money doesn't grow on trees, or how's that going to work? Anytime you say, how's that going to work, there's an underlying conflicting value in there. It's probably, you learned growing up that you have to work hard for the money, or money doesn't come easy, or easy come, easy go, or it's like, so you want this ideal lifestyle, but you have a conflicting value that's keeping you from it. Does that make sense? Do you have any conflicting values that are coming up for you right now that you can think of? A lot of times, and I'm just using money as a basic topic right now. We'll get into other topics as we go along, especially if you throw some in the comments, and we'll definitely address those. But one of the biggest things that I think we have is this conflict with money, because we think, you know, rich people are evil or greedy, or you have to be stingy, or you have to, you know, it's a dog eat dog world out there. You know, all of those are conflicting values with, I want an abundance of money. I want to live peacefully. I want to have, you know, more than enough. Right? So you see how those are conflicting values. So what do you do about it? Neither of them are bad values. So first of all, you just want to take the judgment out of it. As soon as you judge anything about yourself, you're just condemning yourself. You're lowering your vibrations. You're like, oh, I shouldn't be that way, you know, and that's, you know, shaming. Anytime, shame is the lowest vibration there is. So anytime you're judging yourself or putting yourself down or anything like that, you are actually holding yourself out of vibration of what you're trying to create. Your ideal reality, your happy life, your true love, your optimum health, your, you know, blissful state. Because those are our natural states of being. My 3 pillars I always talk about: optimum health, an abundance of wealth, and true happiness. That is our natural state of being. That's up here at the vibration of 500 or 600. You know, but we're all living down here. Shame is at 30, guilt is at 40, even courage is only at 200, and courage is the not basic, what am I trying to say? Average. Courage, 200 is the average vibration of the planet, you know, so 500 is our natural state, and we're averaging 200. We're below half of where we should be, you know, so anytime we're down here in these lower vibrations, it's only because we're holding on to limiting beliefs, trapped emotions. We have these values conflicts. And once again, it's not wrong to have limiting beliefs. It's not wrong to have trapped emotions. It's not wrong to have shadows. It's not wrong to have conflicting values. But to address them, to embrace them, to love and accept yourself because of them, with them, that's what gets you into alignment. That's what gets you to where you want to be easier, faster, with ease and grace and flow, in the natural state of, in the natural flow of life. You know, we always think, oh, life's so hard. Well, that's because we're holding on to things that no longer serve us, because we think because we think we have to, because it doesn't, we have the values conflict. You know, and one thing just popped in my head. What is it that we're almost always taught? I heard this a lot. Don't take the easy way out. But if you think of nature, nature always goes with the path of least resistance, right? So when we talk about going with it with ease and grace and flow, creating our ideal lives, it's kind of like, oh, well, that's the easy way out. You got to work hard. You got to, put your nose to the grindstone. You got to beat the street. You got to, all this kind of stuff. Those are values conflicts. So how do you know if you have a values conflict? The easiest way, get out a pen and paper. You can do this later, or you can do it right now. And write down the top 10, 15 things that really matter to you. What you think really matters to you. Health, and of course you could break that down into things. Your love, relationships, fun, work, money, wealth, laughter, travel, a home, security, safety, adventure, leisure, I was working with something this weekend, and it was like, you know, you don't want to be lazy, but I kind of was like, well, I actually enjoy, you know, I love lazy Sundays, right? Where I just meditate, or I listen to mantra music, or I just, you know, I'm sort of half in, half out of that awake sleep state. And it's just heaven, right, for me. We get up, we make a big breakfast, and then I just spend the rest of the day just sort of, you know, walking that fine line of reality and lucid dreaming and stuff. And some people may say that I'm being lazy, but no, it's leisure, it's restful, it's connecting to my source, it feels good, it rejuvenates me, it's, you know, where I'm plugging back in to my energy circuit, so I have enough for the rest of the week, right? And it's like, it's imperative to me, because there'll be days or times when, you know, I don't get to do that, or we're too busy, or this or that, and then I'll end up getting sick. So it's like, I have declared in my world that I need my Sundays. So leave me alone. I'm not being lazy, but I am enjoying the leisure, the luxurious leisure of, thank you. Hey, thank you for saying that. Exactly. But it's also necessary. You know, we do need that self-care time. So, so what you do, so yeah, so you make your list. Showing you my list. So it just write down as many as you can. Like I said, at least 10. You can keep going. 20 is probably more than enough. But, you know, so 10 to 20 of what you think is really important to you. You know, walks in nature, playing with the puppies, a good meal, you know, those kind of things, right? And then once you're done listing them all out, now go through and number them from 1 to 10 of their importance to you, right? So you just want to write down what you think is important, or, you know, what you get your thoughts down on paper, and then write them out, like 1 to 10, or however many you have, of most important to you, what you think is the most important values that you have. Now, once again, no judgments. Just look at your list. Just look at what you think is the most important thing, and down in their order. Now, go back through them, and from 1 to 10, think about the last 2 weeks, 6 months, whatever you want to do. Think about the average time you actually spend on those things that you think matter to you, right? So you're like, okay, well, travel means a lot to me. It's number 8 on my list. But how much time do I actually allow myself to think about travel, or to make travel plans, or actually, whoa, heaven forbid, actually go on a trip? None. So it's like, oh, whoops, maybe, you know, and it's not that travel's not important to me, but I have a values conflict, because I think travel's important to me, yet I'm not allowing myself to travel. And of course, you could always say, oh, well, granted right now, COVID, nobody's traveling. But that doesn't mean I still can't play and plan and get great deals for, you know, look at what's out there and all that kind of stuff, save up for it. Prepare, plan, blah, blah, blah. Because there's always, if there's an excuse, then that could be your clue to your conflicting value. Like, well, I don't have money to travel, or, well, there's no time to travel, or, you know, You know, if it's something that's important to you, what are the excuses that you come up with? And look for the conflicting sentences or feelings in there, right? I want to travel, but I don't because. Or I want to eat healthier, but I don't because. I wanted a Tahoe for so long. It was my dream car, truck, whatever. And we always said, well, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. We're going to work our way up to it. So we bought cars that we didn't really want. You know, we got a Blazer, and we got a this, and we got a that, and we got a, you know, work, as we kept saying, well, you know, Tahoe's the ultimate goal for us. And then, but then I looked around and I saw everybody driving a Tahoe. Of course, when you want something, you know, it's always in your face. And I'm like, wait a minute. How come all of these people can afford a Tahoe and I can't? Wait, what? You're telling me that all these people can pay, you know, $900, $800 for a Tahoe and I can't? So I had a conflicting value in there. You know, I thought it was too expensive to get my dream car. Well, after I realized that, we were able to trade our car in. We got the most beautiful Tahoe that I love, and our payment's only $500. It's like, that's what we were paying for a car that we didn't want. You know, it's like, wait, what? So it's just that values conflict that's holding yourself back from getting the things that you want. So when you actually number them in order that you think is important to you, and then you go back and you number them in the way that you're actually spending time on them right here, right now. So you say, okay, well, my spirituality is important to me, but yet I don't meditate, or I don't, you know, spend time praying, or I don't go to church, or, you know, whatever. So just, where's the values conflict in that? Where's the conflicting values, you know? Or you say, I wanted to tell you another story about traveling. One of the people that I follow, she was a, you know, starving college student or a broke college student or whatever, but travel was so important to her that she literally, her and her boyfriend at the time, would save up every penny. You know, they would eat top ramen and they would do this. And so every extra little penny that they earned, they would save and go on trips and stuff. So she would travel on a student budget. And she tells the story now about how it was so important to her that one time her boyfriend bought an extra cheeseburger because he was hungry. And she's like, I admit it, I flipped out on him. And, you know, she can laugh about it now. She's not with that boyfriend anymore, so who knows if he can laugh about it. I'm just kidding. But she tells that story about how it was so important to her to travel that, you know, one extra cheeseburger threw her off her budgeting. But the point is, she made it a priority no matter how much they had. Now, of course, because she understood her values, that travel was so important to her, now she lives, you know, what do they call those? Location-free lifestyle. So they go on lavish vacations all the time. So, but it's getting your it's not, I don't want to say priorities in order, but it's getting your understanding of, this means so much to me, yet I'm not doing it because. Now here's one that you're not going to like. Don't at me. We all say family is important to us, but yet how many of us are stuck at jobs where we're working constantly, 12-hour days, 10-hour days, or 7 or 5 days a week even? You know, it's like, oh, well, I'm doing this for my family, even though it's taking you away from your family. Of course, now that everyone's, you know, been stuck with their families for so long, they're like, get me out of here. I'm just kidding. But you can see, it's like, you know, once again, no judgments on your answers. But you can say, well, yeah, my family is important, but I do like the independence of working. Or I like being able to, you know, or you say, no, family is more important, but then I don't have, wait, family is more important, but I need money. There's your values conflict, because how many opportunities are there to start your own business, work from home, be location free, like my friend I was just talking about. You know, especially with the internet nowadays, everyone knows that you can start doing things online that you weren't able to do before. So if being home with your family is more important than going to work, I keep switching my hands on you, sorry. This one's the one that you want, this one's the conflict. It's what I'm trying to keep with. So if family is more important than work, then you find a way to work less, make more. But if there's a conflict there, well, I have to work hard for the money, then you understand where your split is. And so the goal of all of this is to understand that you can have what you want. You just need to get clear about it. So if this whole time you've been saying, I want to spend time with my family, but yet I have to work hard, now you can say, oh, wait, what I'm really saying is I want time freedom and financial freedom so I can take my family on vacations or travel or work around the world. It's just about getting this one and this one in alignment with each other, with your goals, being clear on what you actually want, and now you can shoot into the stratosphere, right? Because you're not trying to go both ways, being pulled in different directions. Does that make sense? So you just have to figure out, so with your list, so you say, okay, here's the ones that I think that are important to me. Here's actually the ones that I'm making priorities. Now, how do I close the gap in between those, right? So you say you want to be healthy, but then first of all, you want to be healthy, but then but you think that means I got to spend 8 hours in the gym, or I've got to eat expensive organic food, or, you know, so you have that values, those conflicting values. You want something, but, you know, so then you go, well, I guess that doesn't really have to be the case. Or if you think that, if you think that has to be the case, just ask yourself, ask your Google brain, just say, is this really true? Can I, you know, do I have to eat expensive foods in order to be healthy? And see what comes up. The reason, you know, as soon as you pose the question to your brain, because now you're getting clear on it, then your brain, which is connected to your infinite source, not your, you know, there's so many there's so many ways to explain the brain, but I want you to tap into your infinite wisdom, your infinite source, the true essence of who you really are, not that voice in your head that tells you, you know, judgment, 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 right? So I just want to make sure it's not the voice in the head that we're talking about, it's the actual mentalness that's connected to infinite intelligence. Okay, just clarifying that. So you want to just pose the question to yourself, to your infinite source, to your infinite wisdom. Do I have to believe that? Can I still be healthy and figure out cheaper alternatives if that's where your values is? Can I still be healthy and not work out in the gym 8 hours a day if that's where your conflict is? You know, it's what can I do to make this easier? What can I do to make this faster? And just by finding those common grounds, what you really, really want, the clarification is, I want to be healthy and not have to spend time in a gym, or I want to be healthy but and what's the goal of being healthy? Well, I want to spend more time with my kids. Okay, well, can I be healthy and spend more time with my kids? Yes. Or do I want to be healthy and, you know, whatever it is. So many times it's, I want this, but what we want to do is say, I want this and this is how it's going to get done, right? But as soon as you question yourself, judge yourself, ask, oh, it's not going to work, or how, then those will help you find your limiting beliefs or your shadows. So limiting beliefs and shadows are the judgments. That's the voice in your head that says you can't have a Tahoe, they're too expensive. But then you go, well, wait. Well, if they're too expensive, then how come they're everywhere? If they're too expensive, then how come everyone else can drive one? How come everyone else can afford them, right? So then you work on that, and you work on that story. So, and then another thing that you can do to speed up the process is create association links. So now you're saying, okay, well, my top priority is love and relationships. So now I want love, but there's no good men out there. Or I want love, but they're all taking. So that's a values, you know, you're conflicting values there. So first you have to say, is that true? Are all the good ones taken? That's lack mentality, that's focused on what you don't want. So you close that gap by saying there's an infinite, abundant source out there, and the universe knows what I want. And so then you practice, what do you want? You want to be loved and respected and treated like a queen, and, you know, but then you associate it with something. So you say, well, love and relationships, the more love I have to give, the more love I can receive, just like breath. You have to be able to breathe it in to give it out. You can't just breathe it in all day, and you can't just give it out all day. It's a circle. So you have to breathe in and out, give love, get love. So where can you give more love and receive more love? You know, find those. It may not be that. That's how you find a relationship at the vibration you want it at, by practicing being at that vibration that you want it at. Does that make sense? But first you have to get rid of the values conflict that says it's not available, and then practice that it is available. Practice the vibration of what you want and associate it with something that already feels good. Like, okay, well, I want love. So my point was love and relationships. Now you surround yourself with loving relationships, meaning good friends, high vibrating people, common interest groups, you know, that kind of stuff, where you're actually having fun, being uplifted, being in those higher vibrations. And now you're attracting the relationship at that vibration, rather than, oh, all the good ones are taken, I don't deserve love, I'm going to die alone, whatever the conflicting value is that you've been telling yourself, right? So that's how you shift. That's how you shift out of it. That's how you find out why you're not getting the results that you're trying to get. It's just, does that make sense? Do you have any questions? And of course, you make it a game. Make it fun. Don't want no judgments here. You can't say, oh, well, I thought money was important to me, but here I am, you know, talking about how I don't have enough money, how I'm broke all the time, how I can't afford things, how things are way too expensive, how, you know, I can't have that, and why do they get that, and they don't deserve that, and that should be mine, you know. So you want to make sure that you're not conflicting, once again, with your values. Is that a broken record? Take a shot every time I say that. Take a drink. How about that? So it's just becoming aware of what you're doing, because so much we are asleep, you know, and then we're wondering how did we end up here? What's happening? Why does it feel like the world's going to hell in a handbasket? It's because people are in this place of lack, and they don't know how to heal their values conflicts. They don't know how to deal with them. They don't know how to change their vibration. They don't understand. But if you understand, then that gets you at a place where you can be an influence on other people. Because every single one of us, we impact up to 90,000 other people. So when you can raise your vibration up a notch, you're going to lift up 90,000 other people with you. So it's important, so important, that we do this, that we follow our bliss and live our passion and create our success, and, you know, do the things we love and live the ideal life that we've created in our mind. Because everybody's ideal life is as an individual as their fingerprints, because of what you've been through and what you know and what you've experienced. And, you know, a Tahoe, other people are like, I don't care, what's a Tahoe? I want that car, I want that car. You know, it's like, that's the whole point. There's choices and choices and choices. And if we all know that we can have exactly what we want, we just have to get clear on it, and we have to, you know, match it vibrationally, then the world is a better place. It is heaven on earth, because we create it right here, right now, not in the future. Little rant there. Sorry. Let's take another drink. You can see I'm passionate about this. You can see I want everybody to live a life they love, because we all deserve it. We all deserve, as I say, a life full of love, magic, and miracles. And you wake up every morning and just say, yes, this is so exciting. What's going to happen today? What can I create today? I mean, you know, I have the universe at my back, and if I want it, I can have it. I just have to choose it and line up with it, and let go of whatever's keeping me from moving up that vibrational scale. And this is one of those ways to do that. So, and a lot of times, our conflicting values, they're not even ours. We've inherited them from our parents. Not their fault. Once again, no judgment, no blaming. This is just becoming aware of you and what you want and what your life has, you know, delivered to you to create something that you want in your life. It's a full circle. So sometimes we pick things up from our parents. An example I always give is, you know, if your parents fought about money, and I use that example because they say 90% of divorces are caused by, you know, money conflicts. You may say, I want more money in my life, but then you also say, well, I want a happy marriage. So there's a conflicting values. You think you can't have a happy marriage and money, or, you know, or you're like, what's another one? How many homes were broken by, you know, when the money came in, the dad had to work harder or something like that. So then as a child, you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, you have to work hard for the money, but that means you can't have a happy home life, you know, and that's not true. It's just a conflicting value where you get to decide well, that's not how I want to be. You know, it's no longer true for me that I want to have love, money, happiness, joy. I always teach you guys, focus on happiness first and then the rest will fall in place. So happiness should be your #1 priority. And then, or your connection, you know, connection with source, but that should encompass happiness as well. So I hope you like this. I hope that made sense to you. Let me know in the comments what came up for you, if this was new news, or if I said something here that was like, oh, I never thought of that before. Let me know if that helped. And let me know if you have any epiphanies or breakthroughs and go, well, my mom did talk about that a lot, and oh, Dad did talk about that a lot, and here I am trying to create my ideal reality and it's just not happening. So I can see where that came together. So anyway, let me know if you like this. Let me know if you have any questions. Just checking over here, making sure. So in the meantime, let's follow our bliss, live our passion, and create our success, because life is what we make it. So let's make it just fantabulously, amazingly beautiful. And always, always, always remember that you deserve nothing less than a life full of love, magic, and miracles. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you, and I will see you next Monday. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you would like to talk about, any topics that are on your mind that you have questions about, anything about vibrations, anything about alignment, anything about manifesting, anything about optimum health, abundance, wealth, true happiness, and I would love to talk to you. Otherwise, I will be back next Monday at 10 a.m. What are we? Central Time. Is that where we are? Okay. Love you. Bye.